This is corner forward Noel Sands. An early score for Down would settle them. Gets a second chance, and again it's blocked out, and that's going to be a 65. And the Down men were emphasising before the game that it was very important for them to settle quickly, because there was a little bit of tingling nerves in the dressing room just before the game. So this first 65 of the match, as you can see, just approaching 40 seconds gone now in this opening semi-final. Here's a man who's been really flying it in the scoring stakes. He's played 3 games, 2 draws against Antrim and a match against London, and he's now top scorer in the 4 teams playing in Croke Park today. He's the cornerback, Kevin Coulter. He scored 2 goals and 8 points, and he make it 2-9. The first point of the 65, dropping in and got over the bar. He's definitely the top scorer in Croke Park. He's the first man to score in the semi-finals, and down 1 point. Well pulled on indeed by Paul McMullen. Edward Rigney trying to get it up towards John Troy. Dermot O'Prey missing it completely. Picked up by Brian Wheelahan. Gets his clearance in towards Pat O'Connor, who struggles to gather possession but gets it ahead of Ger Coulter. Wallingford outside is John Troy, and there's the equaliser. Offaly 1, down 1, and just 2 minutes gone in this first half. With Brian Wheelahan will be very important, because not alone is Brian Wheelahan such an outstanding half-back, but he's very influential, inspirational if he does decide to go forward. There's a hurley gone missing from Ger Coulter, picked up nicely by Johnny Dooley, and there's the lead for the All-Ireland champions. So now just 3 minutes gone. Down got the opening score, but Offaly have now settled. Joining me in the commentary this afternoon, delighted to welcome Tomás Mulcahy.
Thanks, Marty. Yes, Down got the first point, and obviously if they're going to make a game of it today, Marty, I definitely think they're going to have to take all the chances, but we can see as Kieran Barr said, like, Offaly are very much focused on their job today, and a few years ago they did make 1 or 2 slip-ups against Antrim, and I think they're going to make sure that they get towards the All-Ireland final today.
This is Martin Hannamy, captain of the 94 All-Ireland winning team. The idea was right, but Kevin Coulter was alert to it. So was Ger Coulter. Pat O'Connor, more of a facilitator in the opening few minutes. Michael Dignan, back to Johnny Dooley. There's another point here for the taking. And Johnny makes it 2 points for Johnny, and 3 points for Offaly. Nice play by Offaly out on the wings. Michael Dignan and Pat O'Connor setting up Johnny Dooley. The down backs are going to have to be a lot tighter. You can see there how hot it is on Donny Regan's face as the slither comes near him. Easily picked up, however, by John McCarthy. He's formed a good midfield partnership with Danny Hughes this summer. Kevin Keenahan, a little bit lax in the clearance, comes to Hugh Gilmore. It's a dangerous ball. If it comes loose, centre forward is there. There's a chance here. Oh dear, Noel Sands. He had all the time in the world, really, but he didn't know that. And this has to be put down as an opportunity. As the ball came in, you can see Noel Sands was available when the ball broke down. Here it comes now, but he hit it tamely. Bad miss for Down, Tomas.
Yes, a bad miss, and as I said previously there, Marty, chances will come for Down, you know, and they're going to have to take those chances if they're going to be in with a chance in this game.
Joe Dooley sending it back down towards John Troy. Plenty of down players there, but just a little bit over anxious. Johnny Dooley sending it back in. Oh, there's a chance here for a goal. Michael Dagnan against Noel Keith. Take it out. Offaly, take it out. Offaly 1-3, down 1 point, and that was so easy. Is it an indication of things to come? The down backs were totally exposed here. How this situation arose defies logic, because there were 2 Offaly players there. Dagnan took the responsibility, crashed it home. And there's more trouble as Michael Dagnan tries to go through. Cut out this time by Ger Coulter. And this is exactly what Down didn't want to happen.
Exactly, yes, and great goal there by Michael Dagnan, I must say, you know, but you must fault the down backs there. They left them all alone inside the square, and he made no mistake from there. And that's probably the difference between the sides between any possession that Offaly have got, they've got to score from.
Down dugout, just not over pleased, I would imagine, at the moment. But there is a slight breeze down on the pitch. It is favouring Offaly at the moment. John Troy. Lovely little flicks. Back to John Dooley. And Johnny sends it wide, surprisingly. He's rather disgusted with himself. This is a man who's been minding the Down goalmouth for something on 17, 18 years now. Noel Keith. Fine keeper and a good puck out. Johnny Pilkington. Sending it in towards Noel Keith. Gathers cleanly. Half blocked down. Michael Dagnan goes back chasing. There always seems to be an Offaly player available. Joe Dooley sending it in low. With John Troy pulling it up first time, trying to get it back. Well cut out, however, by Gary Savage. And the centre half back clears his lines. Well won by Johnny. Great vision, back to Wheelahan. Bit of bar clubmate there kind of combination. Great understanding. Not a good clearance into the middle, but there is a down man available. John McCarthy sending it up towards Noel Sands. Kevin Keenahan is back there, and he's happy to leave it go out, and it did. And Joachim Kelly and Andy Gallagher and Podge Mulher and the other Offaly officials must be reasonably pleased, while this man is unhappy. McMullen in trouble with Johnny Dooley. Dermot Woods trying to get room to swing. He's fouled, so it's a free. Down fans in full colour.
I think Marty Down in their eagerness in the first couple of minutes lost a bit of shape, and everybody seemed to be chasing the ball, which left a few Offaly players free around the field.
Ryan Wheelahan. And there's slack marking again here. John Troy is available to his left, but well covered by Marty Mallon. Race for possession. And the down man gets there first. Well knocked away by Hubert Wrigley. Johnny Dooley, Marty Mallon, Paul McMullen rather, fouling his opponents. So free for Offaly. First free of the afternoon for Johnny Dooley. And he hits it perfectly over the bar. 3 points for Johnny Dooley, 1-4 for Offaly. Kevin Martin. Well pulled on by Paul Coulter. David Hughes comes out to clear. It's a good long clearance down as well. Michael Dignan. Battling with Kevin Coulter rather. And Michael Dignan swings it over the bar. The Offaly forward line are as impressive as they were against Kilkenny in the opening 11 minutes. Watch this again. Michael Dignan's determination and strength. He even had the time to balance himself perfectly and send it over the bar.
Yeah, he's looking for water.
And trouble for Offaly. Hubert Rigney is in trouble. Has been from the very first ball that came in, and he got a slap on the ankle. The doctor's been out to see him, and since then, in the last movement there, Hubert blocked the ball as well and is hurt. They're thinking about a substitution on the Offaly line, and they're also very concerned about getting water around to the players because it is hot down here on the sideline, I can tell you.
Thank you very much, Tony O'Donoghue. And as you can see, Hubert Rigney is in some doubt there. Eamon Cregan seems to say he's okay, and Hubert goes back into the centre-back position. Referee Willie Barrett is just holding up play as the down substitutes look on rather agonisingly even at this early stage. And I think referee Willie Barrett has decided it's going to be a puck out for Noel Keith. Loose ball, pulled on by Johnny Pilkington. Still Johnny being chased by Danny Hughes. And Johnny creates enough space for himself, and Kevin Coulter has to go over to try and keep him out. It's a good ball in. Cleared by Gary Savage. There's a chance here for Peter O'Connor. Noel Keith saves. Good save by Noel Keith. Billy Dooley has gone down injured after a fairly hefty challenge by Dermot Woods. But the goalkeeper from Ballycran responded magnificently there, because once again he was exposed. It was a great pull by Pat O'Connor, and he literally scooped it up.
Great save there by Noel Keith. Very difficult shot to deal with on the ground, being the ground so hard today, Marty. You just bounced in front of him, but a great stop.
Johnny Dooley with the free. He scored 3. Make it 4. The gap is widening after 13 minutes. Danny Hughes chasing after it. And that's going to be a line ball for down. Sean McGuinness trying to tell Kevin Coulter. And there's a man with the Director General of RTE, Mr. Joe Barry, the great Micheál O'Hare. Great to see him here on this All-Ireland semi-final day. Joe Dooley, Dahi Regan, in towards Pat O'Connor, goalkeeper Noel Keith. Sees it go out over the end line.
Certainly, Marty, down have a big task in their hands now. Offaly are well on top all over the field, and their hurling has been very crisp and very sharp.
Problem is for down, where do they begin to rectify the problem? Because there are problems all over the place, really. Paul Coulter, Kevin Martin, giving it to John McCarthy. He's well able to take his chances, but he's been well harassed by Johnny Pilkington. That's great work by Pilkington. That's the difference between winners and losers. That's the unspectacular hard work and grafting that you have to do. So well done, Johnny.
That's the difference between the teams, Marty. If an Offaly guy had that ball in his hands at that stage, he would have left it off first time, and Down maybe carrying it a little bit too far at this stage.
Great puck up by David Hughes. Finds Joe Dooley at the far side. And towards Billy Dooley. Well picked up, however. Available is Danny Hughes. Up towards centre half forward Barry Coulter. This is not a bad build up at all by Down. No Sands. Anybody coming through? Hubert Rigney is there for Offaly. Comes back outside. Johnny Pilkington comes across. John McCarthy is there. Half blocked down by Pilkington again. Over towards Dermot O'Prey, whose first touch seems to be leaving him down this afternoon. Kevin Coulter gets a hurley to it and has to get rid of it out of the goalmouth area. Pat O'Connor, difficult angle, and he swings it over the bar. And I know the Baltimore Carrier has been saying it, but every time Offaly attack, the Yabba Dabba Dooley brigade seem to be able to get the points. At the other end, Down seem to have all sorts of problems. Kevin Coulter's hurley actually deflected it, put it into the path of Michael Dignan, but Coulter responded, only outfires Pat O'Connor, who took his chance. Down go back into the attack. They really need a score just to even psychologically give them a boost. Hubert Rigney is there for Offaly. Dahi Regan. Joe Dooley. Way across to challenge him is Paul Coulter, number 10. Sending it up towards Pat O'Connor. Joe Coulter gets there first. Manages to keep it in. And again, Offaly's strength, even in the full forward line, are paying dividends. Dignan, back to Joe Dooley. This Offaly team are intent on giving a performance, and I think, to be honest with you, even at this early, very early stage, almost 18 minutes in the first half, the omens are not good for the Ulster champions.
That's right, Marty. I think Offaly's intentions are to get this game out of the way as fast as possible, and maybe they can concentrate now on final appearance then at that stage.
And they're looking very good at the moment. Billy Dooley. Across to Michael Dignan. This time it's won by Kevin Coulter. Trying to send it over towards Danny Hughes from Ballycran. Well pulled on. Race for Hugh Gilmore and Kevin Keenahan. Hubert Rigney is back there. Well blocked down. Puts a little bit of pressure on the Offaly defence, but Brian Wheelahan is there. Kevin Coulter anticipates well and sends it back down the field. Well won by Kevin Martin. Clean and efficient. Turner Woods just getting the hurley to it and depriving Offaly of setting up another move. Well pulled on by John McCarthy and Dermot O'Prey. Martin Hannamy surprisingly just leaving it behind him. Brian Wheelahan is there. And again he gets his clearance in. Billy Dooley, lovely little flick back to John Troy. Marty Mellon wasn't standing in ceremony, so gathers possession. Noel Sands being fouled, and that's another free for Down. And a chance perhaps to register their second score of the game. They were the first to score in this semi-final. That was in the opening 45 seconds. Hugh Gilmore scored 3 points against London, and he scored one now against Offaly. And quite a large number of Down people here in Croke Park will be happy with that point. Gary Savage did very well. gather it in the second attempt. Oh. He actually had time to swing to Hurley, really, and he wasn't going to be hooked. Gary Savage. Barry Coulter. Well won by Kevin Keenahan. That's a free for Offaly. David Hughes from St. Rynagh's with the free. Noel Keith alert as ever. Danny Hughes unable to gather it cleanly and just pulled it first time. John McCarthy pulling on it. Two Offaly players there. Joe Dooley gets there first. Sends it back in towards Pat O'Connor. Knocks it down. There's a chance here for Johnny. Referee has blown his whistle and he's given a penalty. Downer in deep trouble. Now if they rattle the back of this Offaly net, you can just see there Johnny Dooley was pointing to the sideline, indicating will he put it over the bar. This was the incident again. Johnny was going through. The referee blew his whistle for that challenge. Now I know that Johnny indicated at the sideline, pointing the finger upwards, will he take his point? I did not see the reply. Did Eamon Cregan, Andy Gallagher and company say go for glory? It didn't come up. He has to send it low and it's saved by Kevin Coulter. And Johnny would be very disappointed with that.
Yes, he'll be very disappointed with that. But the one thing I must say, with the grass being cut so short and the ground so hard, players have found it difficult on their first touch maybe to pick up the ball, you know, and we found in that instance that Johnny just failed to raise the ball.
Sean McGuinness trying to tell his charges to go forward.
Come on, Johnny, forget it now, come on!
Well, the Offaly chairman of the county board is reasonably happy, I would imagine, at this stage, even despite that missed penalty. Kevin Martin giving it to Joe Dooley. Marty Ballon. And that's no doubt going to be a free for Offaly. And he calls over brother Johnny to do the necessary. You can see on Joe Dooley's forehead there, the perspiration is just rolling off the players today. And I think Offaly have adopted the right policy. Let's try and get this game over with fairly fast.
That's right, Marty, and their hurling has proved exemplary there again today, you know, and you can see from Down's situation there, they've been behind their men, they've let men loose, and Offaly, as they've done in the championship all year, have taken their scores very easily indeed.
And let's see, Tomas, if Johnny Dooley can put this one over the bar. Difficult enough angle, and he puts it straight over Noel Keith's crossbar. 5 points for Johnny Dooley so far in this semi-final. "24 minutes gone now in this first half, in this first All-Ireland hurling semi-final. And the Leinster champions, by far and away, the superior side. Barry Coulter, one-handed, tries to get it out. Tomas Mulcahy was saying there a moment ago that the first touch, trying to lift it, doesn't seem to be happening for the players. Kevin Keenahan, a fair old-fashioned shoulder, which gets the response from the fans around Croke Park. Well pulled on. Martin Hanamy battling over there. This is Barry Coulter with Hubert Rigney. He needs a little bit of assistance. Hugh Gilmore is there. Does well to pick it up. Nice bit of skill, but turns, sends it in towards Noel Sands. He needs a little bit of support quickly outside. It's not coming. Noel Sands tries to go through. Referee has blown his whistle and he's given a free in. But the support from the other down forwards was lacking. Hugh Gilmore did very well here, and it was more or less God-directed basis, but it did find Noel Sands. He tried to get inside Shane McGuckian. He wasn't going that way. And he won his free. So some medical attention required for Barry Coulter. He seems to be fine. Eileen Donnelly, the physio there from Ardbone, County Tyrone, coming in with some refreshments. So a free for Hugh Gilmore. And I'm sure even from this angle that he'll just be happy to tap it over the bar. That's the second point for Hugh Gilmore, making it now 1-9 for Offaly, 3 points for Down. Big screen for the very first time here in Croke Park, just above Hill 16. Showing them exactly what you're seeing at home this afternoon. RT's live television coverage of the All-Ireland semi-final. Sending it in towards Hugh Gilmore. Well pulled on, no Sands. Dermot O'Prey in a race with David Hughes. Hughes leaves it behind him. But this man doesn't, Brian Wheelahan. John McCarthy sending it back in. A loose ball. Hugh Gilmore goes out after it. David Hughes is there once more. And again under pressure. Gives a good clearance. Danny Hughes sending it back in. And the Offaly goalkeeper is out. And it's in. A goal for Down. Exactly what this All-Ireland semi-final wanted. And now Croke Park is alive with red and white, red and black colour. David Hughes, adventurous the first time, more adventurous the second time. He really had no choice, but he didn't get back in time to deprive this man of scoring.
That's a great score by Down, and badly needed at this stage in the game. But before that, they had one or two great passes of play when they kept the ball moving on the ground, you know, and resulted in the ball coming in across the square at that stage and getting the goal from it.
Now, just a little bit of a test for Offaly, and they win another free. But just in the final few minutes here, Down have been playing a lot more confidently. Shane McGuckin couldn't hold it, and the Down man got the sweetest of touches. Noel Sands. So this free, Brian Wheelahan. Sending it in towards Pat O'Connor. Michael Dignan, John Troy is there. And that goes off a Down man for a 65.
Well, Offaly manager Eamon Cregan was actually predicting that Down were going to get back into this game. He's been very concerned about the work of his half-forward line, Johnny Dooley, John Troy and Joe Dooley, saying they're not coming out to the ball and they're not working as a unit in the manner in which he expected. So he did say if they weren't careful, something would happen. Something has happened. Down are perhaps back in this game.
Thank you very much, Tony O'Donoghue. Is this 65? Going to be taken by Johnny Dooley. 28 minutes gone, as you can see. As Johnny hits that perfectly over the bar. 6 points for Johnny Dooley, 110 for Offaly. Hodge Mulhare there, Offaly selector. His team now 7 points to the good. Billy Dooley and Dermot Woods. Dermot Woods recovers very well. Brother Joe comes in to lend assistance. Michael Dignan leaves a run on for John Troy. Noel Keith, and again he saves it. Well done, Noel Keith. And John Troy really, normally, scores from those sort of positions. Michael Dignan left a run on, and the centre half forward, being chased by Gary Savage, hit it, and as Thomas Mulcahy was saying earlier, bounced awkwardly, but Noel Keith did very well. So this free going to be taken by Kevin Coulter. Danny Hughes. Johnny Dooley chasing after him. Still Danny. Well intercepted, very well indeed. Sending it up towards Hugh Gilmore. David Hughes comes out again. And again the goalkeeper does well. Gives a good long relieving clearance. Well got it by Danny Hughes. Anticipated well by Johnny Dooley. Marty Mallon battling hard, so too is Joe Dooley. As the down commitment and character is being shown here in Croke Park. Because although they're struggling, they're battling all the way. Pat O'Connor chasing well, manages to just barely keep it in. Dermot O'Prey playing with a little bit more confidence now. Knocked away by Jared McGrattan. Comes back into the space for Billy Dooley to run onto. And certainly the heat is sapping the energy here as Daithí Regan sends that ball to the right and wide. But you can visibly see, Tomas, that sometimes when the ball goes loose, some players are just hesitant to run for it.
That's right, Marty, and the heat down there must be very intense indeed, you know. And the problem, I suppose, with Offaly is going 10 points, 11 points clear, you know. They maybe take the foot off the pedal at times, you know, but you can't deny Down's commitment and their courage to get back into the game. And if they keep it within 7 points at half time, I think they'll be happy going in at that stage.
Barry Coulter. Martin Hennemy is fouling. Paul Coulter there, so it's going to be a free for Down. "31 minutes, almost 32 minutes in fact, gone now in this first half. Hugh Kilmore swinging to the left, kept in however. Hopefully Kevin Keenan can't hold on to it. Ryan Whelan is there again. Paul McMullen sending it up towards Dermot O'Prey. Sends it across into the middle. Kevin Martin is there. This is Barry Coulter. Dermot O'Prey is available to his left if he wants him. He decides to try and drive it in, and again it's Brian Whelan. Danny Hughes. John McCarthy is available to the right. Danny drops it in, and that's a very good point for Danny Hughes. And slowly but surely, Down are coming back in. And I think maybe the Down people are beginning to believe that this team could well put up a very fine performance. It's happening, but it's happening very slowly for them. This was a very good point by Danny Hughes. It's going to be an Offaly ball. Eamon Cregan, I think, just making a positional switch perhaps with John Troy. And the Galway representatives are here in their numbers. Come on the Town, Ballinasloe on the lock. Rodney, USA, whoever Rodney is. Johnny Pilkington. Martin Mallon under a little bit of pressure, and he does, however, is give it back to Johnny Pilkington. And suddenly, Tomas, the Down lads are beginning to harass and chase a bit.
They are, Marty, and certainly they got a lot of heart from that goal, you know. And every time the ball has gone upfield, this Noel Sands has looked a bit threatening for Down as well.
For the first time, Brian Whelan under a little bit of pressure. Somehow a good player always seems to find a space, and indeed finds a colleague. Daithí Regan taking a little bit too much out of it. Danny Hughes is there. John McCarthy. And certainly for fitness, Down are able to match them so far. Martin Hennemy winning this tussle against Paul Coulter, and that's going to be a free for Offaly. David Hughes comes out to take the free. This is Offaly's 6th free of the match. What a whopping shot he takes too. Very unlucky not to put his name on the scoreboard. That might also, not taking anything away from David Hughes, just might be aided and abetted by a fairly strong summer breeze. 10 seconds left in this first half on official time. Might be a minute or so for injuries. Well, Gallard with John McCarthy sending it up. Nobody can reach it. It's gone wide. Must be said, Tomas, to Down's credit, by far and away Offaly have looked the better team, but still, as we approach half time, it looks like they'll only go down by 6 points.
That's right, you know, and that will give great heart to Down going in at half time. You know, they played badly in the first half, and they're still only 6 points behind in the game. and I think Eamon Cregan will have a few words to say to Offaly.
And around midfield, certainly, Danny Hughes and John McCarthy have gained a slight upper hand. Barry Coulter. Another score before half-time would be a big boost. Maybe this man can do it. He's well hooked, comes inside, chase for Kevin Martin. Jared McGrattan is after him. Kevin Martin gets his clearance, and referee Willie Barrett has blown the half-time whistle. Playing with that slight summer breeze to their backs. And as Ger Hegarty was saying, an early score, particularly a goal for Down, would really set this match up for a real thriller. Billy Dooley keeps it in. It's Dermot Woods that intercepts, sends it up towards Hugh Gilmore. Paul Coulter goes back to gather it cleanly and gets there ahead of Martin Hannamy. Oh, well done. Lovely skill by Hannamy. Good defending, but he's blocked down again. Lovely bit of stick work, however. And again, Paul Coulter gets it across to David Hughes. Clears his line well down towards Dahi Regan. Well spotted by Paul McMullen. Johnny Dooley. And Danny Hughes and John McCarthy are doing Trojan work really at midfield. Ryan Wheelahan switching play over towards Michael Dignan. Going back to gather it is Kevin Coulter. Kept in by Johnny Pilkington. To Pat O'Connor. Dignan has gone outside. O'Connor gets away from Ger Coulter. Still Pat O'Connor. Getting across to Michael Dignan. He turned too many times, and Noel Keith puts up the left paw and sends it way down the field. But it was a great run by Pat O'Connor. Dignan on that occasion just took the wrong option. Ball comes back down. Kevin Coulter cleverly just knocking it aside. Billy Dooley goes after it. Tries to go the direct way and is fouled, and that's going to be a free for Offaly. But it's definitely a real chance there for Offaly, Tomas.
Yes, there was a good chance for Michael Dignan. Obviously took the wrong option when he got the ball in his hand. Maybe should have taken 1 or 2 steps forward rather than 1 or 2 steps backward. And has started very well, and for both sides in the second half. There's great commitment there now at this stage, and to be interested to see how the first 5-10 minutes go.
Johnny Dooley going to take this free. Puts it over the bar. So it's 7 points now between the teams. John McCarthy. He's a good solid midfielder, this man from Ballycran. And that ball just goes inches wide. Down have only had 5 wides in this match so far.
Yes, and I think they've moved Dahi Regan to centre forward, and after they've moved Dahi Regan to centre forward and brought Michael Dignan to centre field to mark the threat of John McCarthy.
So obviously what we were saying has now been reflected in the attitudes of the Offaly selectors, because they've reacted to that dilemma. This is a great run by Dermot Woods. Comes to an abrupt end, however, Joe Dooley. And again, John McCarthy is putting all sorts of limbs in danger. John Troy trying to pull it at first time. Kevin Coulter, Billy Dooley comes across to gather it, gets there, sends it goal bound. Oh, that is a strike and a half. Billy Dooley is in top form in Croke Park, and it increases Offaly's lead. What a wonderful point here. He was sent out towards Billy Dooley. He had to run very hard to try and gather it. But from here on, it's a master craftsman at work, striking it from out on the touchline. Now can Down respond to that? Well blocked down by Martin Hannamy. Offaly just happy to get rid of it, really. It's going to be a line ball for Down. John McCarthy with this sideline cut. He's well able to hit them. David Hughes scoops it out, being chased by Noel Sands. It's a good clearance under pressure by the St. Rina's man. Danny Hughes. Kevin Keenahan puts up the hand. This is Jared McGrattan. Turning, sending it back in. Noel Sands can't keep it in, but the referee has decided that the down man was inside the small rectangle. Jared McGrattan a little bit disappointed with that. McGrattan sending in the slither, but the down man was inside waiting for it, trying to gather it. Noel Sands.
I suppose the worrying thing from Offaly's point of view is if they keep letting down into the game and a goal goes in, there's nothing left between the sides at that stage. But from another point of view, Offaly's point of view, we have seen very little of Brian Whelan. Maybe we've seen very little of John Troy. We've seen very little of Daithí Regan.
Shane McGuckin has picked up an injury now, and he's going to require some medical attention as play continues. Joe Dooley. Up towards John Troy. Pat O'Connor. Again he takes on his marker, Ger Coulter. And again he goes round him. Meets Noel Keith. Everybody looks towards the referee. And the down crowd rejoice. Jared McGrattan leaves it behind him. Picking it up is Johnny Pilkington. Over towards Johnny Dooley. And that's gone wide. The free-flowing Offaly machine that we saw here in Croke Park is stuttering along while still in control.
Well, yes, Marty, while they're still in control, they're playing poorly at this point in the game, and I'm sure Ian Keegan won't be too happy with the play.
Offaly have it once more. Billy Dooley. Over towards John Troy. Ger Coulter is there this time. Over towards Paul McMullen. Michael Dignan. In towards John Troy. Taken away from him cleanly. Back comes Dignan again. Falling for it is Johnny Pilkington. That's sailing to the right and wide. And the scoreline remains the same. 1-12-1-4. It's not that Offaly have had many wides indeed. They've had a total of 8 rather, in this match. And Brian Whelan puts it back up towards the Offaly forwards. Brian Whelan once more. Pat O'Connor. There's nobody in really around the house. Dermot Woods comes across to gather it. And dispossessed cleanly by Billy Dooley. There's danger here, and there it is, in the net. The simplest of scores. There was absolutely no danger for Down, but Dermot Woods was dispossessed by Billy Dooley, and after that it was simple. How simple? Well, let's look at this. Dermot Woods came across to gather it. It was nicked away from him by Billy Dooley, and this was just so easy. It's a bad goal to give away.
Certainly a bad goal from Down's point of view, when there's seen very little danger, but give credit to Billy Dooley. He kept Harrison his man and knocked the ball away from him and went around the keeper and stuck it into the back of the net. I mean, that's a forward's job, and he never gave up the chase.
And now certainly Down, whatever chance they have, they'll have to respond very quickly. Because that goal really has set up Offaly very nicely. Well pulled on in towards Hugh Gilmore. Kevin Keenahan leaves it behind him, however. Coming through is Paul Coulter. And he's fouled, and that's going to be a free. Hugh Gilmore going to take this free, and he's happy enough to put it over the bar. That's 3 points for Hugh. Well, that scoreline is a little bit intimidating now at the moment for the Ulster champions. So Brian Joe Everty is being mentioned now as a substitute for Offaly. He normally plays in the backs, particularly at full back. He's rated by many as one of the finest in the country, in fact. That's how the depth of talent in Offaly is, as Joe Dooley goes through, and he sends it wide.
Shane McGuckian will be coming off the Offaly team, picked up an injury there shortly into the second half, and Joe Everty coming on for Offaly.
This is the incident again as Joe Dooley took off. Certainly be put down as a goal scoring opportunity. Hit it wide. So Joe Everty comes on, and it's actually Hubert Rigney that seems to be going off. So Hubert is obviously, that ankle is causing him problems, and he's got off, and Joe Everty comes in. Down, keep the pressure on. Joe Dooley comes across. Up to his brother John. Kevin Coulter is with him. Still Johnny Dooley. Good running by Johnny Pilkington. Noel Keith saw it all the way. It's a good clearance. Brian Wheelahan knocks it down for Michael Dignan. Gone for the return. And there it is. There's a point here perhaps. Normally he gets one, and it's just been recorded. Brian Wheelahan gets his first point of the semi-final. He did it in the Leinster final. He always loves to go forward. And the Burman puts his name on the scoreboard. He actually, look at this for running off the ball. He started running back there. He obviously called Michael Dignan, got the pass, and hit it perfectly over the bar. Another free for down. And really at this stage, Tomas, they need a goal.
Certainly don't need a goal, you know, and probably good decision by Offaly there, taking off Hubert Rigney as well with his injury. I mean, the game is practically over from an Offaly point of view at this stage, and they might do further damage to his injury, so they're going to keep him and try and get him fit for the All-Ireland final at this stage.
Hugh Gilmore floating one in to see if they can engineer something. The answer is very much in the negative. Sean McGuinness now looks a little bit despondent. We really had great hopes that today they could put up a great performance and even win this semi-final. Danny Hughes going back to gather it. Noel Sands drives it forward. Kevin Keenahan gathers it. Comes out with it. Gets it down for Johnny Pilkington. Returns nicely away from John McCarthy. Joe Dooley. Noel Keith comes out to gather. Sends a good clearance back down, only far as Johnny Pilkington, who returns the favour by sending it this time over Noel Keith's head and over the bar. And yet another Offaly player has scored. We now have 8 players actually, Tomas, as I look at my notes here. We have 8 players, Brian Whelan, Johnny Pilkington, and all 6 forwards.
Yes, great score by Johnny Pilkington, and I think himself and Michael Dignan today have really played very well for Offaly, you know, even the times when they were playing poorly there in the last 10 minutes of the first half. Johnny Pilkington and Michael Dignan kept them very much in the game.
Kevin Coulter being well hooked by Johnny Dooley. Some people in Down feel that Kevin Coulter should be playing up front because he's well able to take scores. And that goes off an Offaly man for a 65. Johnny Pilkington about to take this 65. And if you think that we're near the end of the match, I can tell you that we're now just approaching 15 minutes gone in the second half. So Down still have time, but they need a goal to give them any chance at all. This man is well capable of scoring, even from a 65. Trying to get a goal. Well pulled in by McGrattan. There's a chance here. Oh! Off the post and into the net. Hallelujah! So the people of Down and all of Croke Park once again stands, and it's colourful. Red and black all over the place. And they're not dead yet. Every time that we decide that Down are out of it, they show a flicker of life. Nicely struck past David Hughes. From any angle this looks good, from a Down point of view. David Hughes was helpless as it went in off the post. Joe Everty in a spot of bother. Noel Sands. They need the ball in fast. Sands dropping it in and dropping it over the bar. Well. And we thought this match was over. 16 minutes gone in the second half. And Down, look at that scoreline now, and it's quite respectable.
It's quite a respectable score again, you know, and that goal has given great heart again to Down, and a great point again by Noel Sands. And if they can keep up this pressure, who knows, we might be in for grandstand finish. John McCarthy. Half blocked down, Jared McGrattan. Fouled there by Kevin Martin. So a free. And if Down can keep the pressure on, sometimes when a team has at least got it into its thoughts that they have the match won and suddenly the opposition step up, it's very hard to respond. It's very hard to respond, you know, and coming toward the closing minutes of the game, as Limerick proved to Limerick last year, you know, you don't get much chance to respond.
Well, there's 17 minutes gone now in the second half, and again Kevin Coulter sends it in, but this time he sends it wide, and really goals should be either dropped in or from that distance at least maybe hit stronger and sent towards the post.
That's right, you know, and as we said in the first half there, Marty, as well, there would be chances for Down, you know, and if they missed their chances, I mean, they could rule those at the end of the game, and they've made a few basic mistakes around goal themselves where they've allowed Offaly in for maybe one or two soft goals, and the game could be a lot closer if they take their chances as well.
Ryan Whelan and Johnny Pilkington. A bit of a push there on Billy Dooley by Dermot Woods. The sliotar is there for the taking. It goes off Pat O'Connor. Does well to keep it in. The referee blows the whistle and gives a free to the faithful county. So Johnny Dooley makes the long walk as Sean McGuinness goes back towards his own dugout. Scored 7 points in the semi-final so far, Johnny. The Down crowd getting onto him for just taking an extra few metres. A familiar pose of Johnny Dooley, and Johnny puts it over the bar. That was a very important one from an Offaly point of view, because it keeps the Down men in their place as Declan Pilkington comes in.
Yes, indeed, for Dahi Regan, the Burman, the midfielder, the big midfielder coming off. Declan Pilkington getting his chance in this All-Ireland semi-final.
So Offaly making changes, Tomas, and the signs indeed before half-time were ominous, I think, for Dahi this afternoon.
Yes, and obviously being a very warm day down there didn't suit Dahi either, you know, and a fresh pair of legs at this stage of the game could do wonders for Offaly as well.
So Martin Hannamy is going to take this line ball. Kevin Coulter just misses it. Michael Dyken running onto it. Danny Hughes is back there as well, and he holds onto it for dear life. Oh, lovely interception by John Troy. Out to Johnny Dooley. And that's why Offaly are the All-Ireland champions. They make it look simple. And it is simple when the Offaly lads play it like that. Again, that was a giveaway by Down.
Yes, a bad mistake again by Down, but I mean, Offaly have responded well to the Down goal and a point there in the last couple of minutes, and tacked on a further 2 points. That increases the gap all the time.
So 10 points between the teams. Joe Everty, lead out for Michael Dykeman. Noel Sands comes in, he's a hard worker, this corner forward. Well kept in. He's Down, go forward once more. Over towards Jared McGrattan. Well blocked down by Kevin Martin. Johnny Pilkington is back there again. Joe Dooley without the hurley. Fair shoulder. As Marty Mallon drops a dangerous ball in. Nobody can really connect with it. Brian Whelan clears it, but it's not a good clearance. Comes to Noel Sands. Drives it in and puts it over the bar. Goal and a point for Noel Sands. 2-7 for Down. And they just keep in touch. Gary Savage under pressure from Declan Pilkington and Billy Dooley. John Troy has gone inside. Pat O'Connor trying to flick it to him. This is Dermot Woods. Half blocked down by Pat O'Connor. Picked up by Gary Savage. That's a good long clearance. Kevin Martin being harassed by Jared McGrattan. And Noel Sands. He's the real star for this Down attack this afternoon. Danny Hughes trying to get away from Michael Dignan, and that's going to be a free for Down. And again, the Down lads are going to have to try and engineer and create enough space to at least have a shot at goal. And again, it's Kevin Coulter that goes across to take it. 22 minutes gone now in this second half. And he looks fairly intent on the business at hand. And it just goes to the right and wide. It's 9 wides now in total for Down. John Troy trying to gather it up. John McCarthy. Jared McGrattan having a great battle with Kevin Martin. That's a very good ball. David Hughes. Oh, lovely skill by Hughes. Memories of the 30s and 40s coming back. Lovely pull. Over towards Declan Pilkington. Paul McMullen leaves the hurley behind him. Gary Savage doesn't. McMullen now has the hurley. Gets there just ahead of Johnny Pilkington. Sending it in towards the corner, Dermot O'Prey. Pulling it up first time, trying to get it in towards Hugh Gilmore. This is Barry Coulter. Joe Everty is there for Offaly, and that goes out over the end line and wide. Still plenty of time for Down, it must be said, Tomas. 12 minutes to go.
There is plenty of time indeed, Marty, but I mean, from Offaly's point of view, obviously when you come out of a Leinster Championship and winning it so well, you know, you must obviously be keeping one eye on Ireland final day when you get these decided to draw in the Ireland semi-final. I think, and today, I mean, Offaly started off very well and took their leg off the gas maybe a small bit, and had to do what they had to do, you know, and from a Down's point of view, they need 1 or 2 goals at this stage to get them anywhere close to Offaly.
Kevin Keenahan under pressure now. Gets rid of it. Barry Coulter. And that's going to be a 65. It's Thirsty work this afternoon in Croke Park. As down introduce Michael Braniff. And that substitution has now been made. And the man that's going off is the full forward, Hugh Gilmore. Obviously, with the Slither dropping in there, they're expecting a little bit more reward for it. John McCarthy sends it to the wrong side of the post. And the scoreline still 2-16 to 2-7. And the shake of the head indicates there that things have gone wrong for Down. And they just can't find the goalposts enough times. Turn McGrath again, and Kevin Martin goes off the Offaly man. It's going to be a line ball for Down. I think Barty Mallon was going to try an unusual one, but Kevin Coulter said no. Hits it well. Noel Sands blocked down by Brian Wheelahan. Blinded by the sun. All the players are packed. And this time it's going to be a line ball for Offaly. Eamon Cregan, I don't think, will be too happy. Happy to win, but not too happy in terms of the overall performance.
I suppose not from an overall performance, but when they started out today, Offaly, you know, nobody was going to give them credit if they won by 20 points or if they won by 2 points, and they have the game over with. They're going to be in an All-Ireland final, and they can now sit back and get their preparations ready for the big day.
Johnny Pilkington sending it in. Chance here for Johnny Dooley. This hit it completely to Coulter. This time you can get it right, Johnny. Yes. Milamogul says Johnny Dooley. 10 points in this All-Ireland semi-final, and 10 points the difference between the teams. Nobody marking Johnny Pilkington. Kevin Martin, Pat O'Connor. It's going to be a line ball this time for Down.
I think, Marty, we've seen today though what a class act Johnny Dooley has been. He's got a great number of points from frees, but also got a great number of points from play as well, and got some brilliant strikes.
Brian Wheelahan. Pat O'Connor. Oops. You don't make mistakes like that when Cool Derryman is around. Martin Mallon. They're playing handball here between them, and that was a high challenge, and I think that Joe Dooley acknowledged it. Total accident, and that's going to be a free for Down. This is the incident again, as the pass came back to Gary Savage, and Joe acknowledging that he got entangled there. Shane McGuckian coming forward with it. Noel Sands picking up the loose ball. Still Noel Sands taking too many steps, and that's a free for Offaly. 6 minutes left. The writing is on the wall. And for Noel Sands, who has played quite well, I think that even he is beginning to acknowledge that today is not going to be Down's day. Dennis Dermot Woods. Declan Pilkington now playing for a place in the All-Ireland final. Noel Keith comes out to gather it. He's been a good solid goalkeeper, although he's been beaten twice. No fault to him. Johnny Pilkington sending it over towards Johnny Dooley. Gary Savage Picked up again by Johnny. Kevin Coulter sending it over towards Danny Hughes. Now down. Can you do something here? Dropping it in. Michael Braniff is underneath it, but it doesn't matter because John McCarthy has put it over the bar. Good point by the midfielder. And again, 9 points between the teams.
And you have to give credit to Down. They've never given up the fight, you know, and has some good performers there in Noel Sands, I must say. You know, look very threatening in possession all day, and in this heat, have fought all the way to the end.
It does show, though, once again, not that it really needs to be said, that there was a big difference between League in October and Championship in August in Croke Park.
Well, you've the greatest stage on earth, I suppose, All-Ireland semi-final day, you know, and
Noel Keith on the line. He has it, or has he? And he bravely went down, and he's got a belt there, I think. And it was really unusual to see the manner in which it went down. This is the incident again, as the ball was sent in, came back off the post, surprised everybody, and Noel Keith literally sat in it. But where was it? It was still there. And Noel Keith rightly gets a round of applause. Who has it? Turk Coulter, hand passing it out in front of him, trying to pick it up, doing a bit of a DJ Carey act there. Johnny Pilkington sending it across the face of the goal mouth to another Johnny, well saved by Noel Keith for a 65. Well, he's been one of the heroes. He's been solid without really being spectacular, but this time he was tested right at his post as the ball was driven in. Noel Keith stood his ground.
But as I was saying previously, Marty, you know, the difference in class, really, you know, I mean, Offaly's striking has been much more crisper, their ability to take their scores, and again, I mean, from Down's point of view, obviously it's a great stage to be playing All-Ireland semi-final, and you just said, like, there's a big difference between the league in October and the summer heat that we have here in the Battle of an All-Ireland semi-final.
Johnny Dooley with the 65, dead on target. Straight over the bar.
Brendan Kelly coming into the fray for the Offaly team. John Troy will be the man he'll replace. Troy's picked up a bit of an injury. Just for safety's sake, they're taking him off.
So Brendan Kelly comes in and has given the official piece of notepaper to the referee, Willie Barrett. He goes in full forward, and as Tony was saying, John Troy goes off. Brendan Kelly will have just less than 3 minutes to impress the Offaly selectors if he wants to get on the first 15 for the All-Ireland hurling final. Brian Wheelahan. Dermot Woods. Pat O'Connor putting it into the space for Billy to run after. Oh, Dermot Woods again to Billy Dooley. And that's gone over the bar. When you've got good forwards like this, you cannot afford to slip or lose possession that easily. And again, Dermot Woods, who has played well, was dispossessed far too easily. And Billy Dooley rather, put it over the bar. Joe Erity getting it far as Michael Dignan. Now Michael has it, and away he goes. The hand pass intended for Pat O'Connor, to be fair, was not a very good one. And down go for another long ball, which is going very much to the left and wide. And down now have a total of 11 wides. The Offaly sideline, I'm sure, will be quite happy. They continue on, defending their titles quite impressively. Lovely little bit of stick work by Johnny Pilkington out to Kevin Martin. Summer Woods this time doesn't lose possession, but awkwardly has to give it to Marty Mallon. Sends it up towards Dermot O'Prey, Shane McGuckie and Michael Braniff. Brian Wheelahan. It's a lovely striker of the ball. Noel Sands. Paul McMullen. Again, a ball in more hope than anything else. Kevin Martin comes away with it. And the referee has called the full-time whistle. Offaly, the Leinster All-Ireland champions, are back in the All-Ireland final for the second year in a row. Brian Wheelahan can afford a smile, because no doubt about it, Offaly, while not over-impressive, were impressive enough, and they're back the first Sunday in September. Offaly 2-19, down 2-8.
You were impressive enough, as Marty was saying there, but you were never going to get credit for a win today.
I don't think we were impressive. I thought we played poorly. I thought a lot of our players went out there, and I don't know what was wrong with them, but maybe the fact that we're playing down and they felt, okay, we're going to have it hard, but we're going to win. But we didn't perform to the way I would like them to perform, and we have a lot of work to be done.
It was a very, very hot day for playing hurling, though.
It was hot for both teams, and Down came back at us in the first half with in about